Hey kids, it's a pleasure to say hello to you this time, and the intention to record this video is again to explain you a topic that you are going to use this week. If you remember, the last weeks we were learning about subject and object pronouns, and the last week I uploaded a video where I explain you about the indefinite and reflexive pronouns. This time I'm going to explain you how can you use who and whom. These words can be considered pronouns, but the intention of this explanation is to help you understand when and where you are going to use them. So I'm going to start with who. Who is going to be always a subject form. So that means that you can find who, or you can use who as a subject in a declarative sentence or in an interrogative sentence. Whom, in other way, is going to be always an object form. So you can find it or use it like an object of the preposition or as a direct object. And I wrote some examples to help you understand the usage of each one. In the first two sentences that are green, I use who as a subject in a question or in two questions because there are two. So the first one says, who brought the homework? If you remember, the predicate always starts with the verb. So that's the reason that who is the subject and brought the homework is the predicate. In the second sentence is the same. Who is coming now? So who is the subject and is coming now is the predicate. But if you notice, the two examples that I wrote are questions because we commonly use who in questions. For example, when you said, who is going to come tomorrow? Who is your friend? Who is that girl? Who is that boy? Who is your dad? So, if you notice and you remember, we use commonly who in questions, but that's not a necessary rule. You can use who as a subject, but in a declarative sentence. For example, if I said, my teacher who is calling at me is nice. Or the girl who is in the yard is my friend. If you see the two examples that I told you, who is the subject and those are declarative sentences. Now is the turn for whom. Remember, whom can be two different kind of objects. It could be an object of the preposition or it could be a direct object. In the purple sentences, I use whom as an object of the preposition. And what is the clue word? The clue word, if you notice, I squared these words next or behind the word whom. Is because whom as an object of the preposition always is gonna be with a preposition before. To whom would we give the homework? Or the other. I just saw a woman with whom I used to work. When you identify whom as an object of the preposition is because always is going to be with a preposition word before whom. Remember the prepositions: to, with, for, from, under, on, in, into, behind. You need to remember the prepositions, and when you find the preposition before whom, that's the whom used as an object of the preposition. And in the other way, when you are going to use whom as a direct object or that you identify whom like a direct object, is when you are going to use whom as a direct object. Remember that the direct object is who receives the action. Remember, the direct object is that noun or that object who receives the action. For example, in the first sentence I wrote, whom do you want to see? You want to see who? Who is the person that you want to see? But whom is at the beginning. Whom do you want to see? And the other is, whom will you ask? Remember, whom as a direct object is who, or is the noun who is going to receive the action. In this case, it says, whom do you want to see? You want to see? To whom? This person, whom is at the beginning. Or, whom will you ask? Who is the person that you will ask something? That's the reason that whom is the direct object. So remember, that's the rule. Who always is going to be a subject, and whom could be an object of the preposition or a direct object. To identify if whom is an object of the preposition, remember that always is going to be with a preposition word before. And if whom is a direct object, is because it's receiving the action. So I hope that you understood clearly how can you use who and whom, and how can you identify if who is an object of the preposition or a direct object. So see you soon, and we are on touch. Blessings and bye-bye.